Man, someone was waiting for me. Sorry, I had to move the boat. I didn't want to start up and then move the boat. Well, whoever's in there, what's up? Outdoors with Matt. What's up, brother? Whiz Kid King. I hope we get hyped. It's been a rough stretch for me, man. I haven't caught no fish, and I had a lot. Last weekend alone, I put 30 hours between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I put 30 hours on the boat, and I caught one fish. My buddy that was with me, he caught three little channel cats, but nothing good. What's up, Landon? Using cut bluegill and cut shad tonight. No live. I ran live all last weekend and didn't have any action on the live. So what bluegill I had went in the freezer and brought them out today. So we'll see what happens here. I just moved. This is I guess this is my fourth spot of the night. I had one takedown earlier. My buddy was two of my buddies were fishing a couple 100 yards from me, and they caught a decent one here tonight. So they recommended I move my boat up about 150 feet. So I just moved it up 150 feet and just put rods up. So we'll see what happens. But Shore Beach working. Judith and Dan, what's up? Thanks for coming. Appreciate everybody being in here. I know it's late. Whiz Kid, I do bass fish. I've actually was thinking about going bass fishing because the catfishing sort of been slow. But with my work schedule, I'm used to staying up all night. So for me to get up in the morning to go bass fishing, that's like unheard of for me right now. So see what happens here when I move forward. Start a new job here shortly. Hopefully get on some day shift instead of this night shift. The bass fishing's sort of been slow too. The frog bite's pretty good in the morning, but lake sort of died down. My buddy was out actually tonight. He was one river pool below me, Tagmar. You can see me fish with him a couple times. He was out. He caught a couple, but nothing super exciting. Caught a decent walleye. I don't think I'm drifting. I might be getting a bite. I've noticed my bites have been super slow. Nothing's really taken anything down. A lot of nibbling. It's got to turn on. It's that time of year. They're got to be starting to feed here. I would say the spawn is definitely over. It's just I don't know where they're at. They're all stacked up somewhere. I feel like the river didn't come up. We got three rivers in Pittsburgh. Two of them flooded about 2 weeks ago. They were flooded out, blown out. So I feel like the fish dispersed, and I'm in one of those rivers right now. The river I typically fish never actually came up. It stayed pretty slack. There's no current in it right now. So I feel like those fish are stuck wherever they're at. If you can find them, you can get into them. But this river here, it should be good, but no one's really catching much. A couple guys here and there catching some stuff, but nothing crazy. WizKid, I've had to invite the past 2 weekends to come up here with my buddy Graham, and unfortunately I couldn't make it with things I had going on. So, but I'd love to get up there and try Erie. It's just a whole new dynamic. I think I'm starting to figure out the catfishing, but it's not really. My numbers ain't showing that. I'm marking a lot of spots. The gear's all right. Gear's all ready to go, but I don't know if I want to jump in on walleye because then I know I'm going to be spending all kind of money on dip sea divers and downriggers and new rods. And when I jump in, I go all in. No luck, best friend outdoors. But hopefully the live stream brings me some luck. Lights look pretty good on the boat in the live stream. Brightens me up pretty good. I was worried about that. As you can probably see, the bugs are starting to come around too. Thought it was a little too cold for bugs tonight, but I guess I was wrong. It's about 62, about 65 degrees, I'd say. It's going to drop down to about 60, 61 or upper 50s. Judith and Dan, you guys getting ready to start doing some trapping? When do you guys typically start? Hi, Amanda. What's up? You're driving and watching me. That doesn't sound too safe. I do it all the time. I don't watch. I just listen. I'm in so many live streams, and a lot of times I can't respond or type anything because I'm driving. I don't ever sit still. Yeah, WizKid, my neighbor's been going up, and he told me, he told me he'll tell me exactly how to do it, and I don't think he's got that much invested into it either. He's sort of doing the same thing you're doing, worm harnesses and just, I think he said 60 foot of water. I'm actually fishing 45 foot of water right now, or 41. I'm rounding up here. It's 41 foot right where I'm at right now. This is about the deepest water I've fished in a while. After the spawn, I try to stay out of the deep water. I feel like the catfish are going to be shallow, but this hole here has some structure around it. There's a wrecked barge and some rocks and stuff, so I figured I'd give it a go. My next spot's going to be a creek mouth where we had decent luck on Saturday. Judith, I got my fur back from Mink Moyle. I'm gonna say about a week and a half ago, and man, my beaver are amazing. Um, I'm definitely gonna be chasing more beaver this year just because of the fact how nice that fur turned out. My beaver and my fox were amazing. I mean, they're super soft. I don't even know if I want to sell them. I want to keep them all, but probably will be selling some of them. I'll sell whatever. I don't want to keep. I'm not going to keep too much, but I'm tempted to keep a lot of it. But I got to do an unboxing of that, even though I've unboxed it and looked through it. I just haven't had time to make a video of the unboxing, so it's actually sitting there ready to do it, and I just haven't done it. I'm really happy with how my fur turned out. I had one coon that had a little bit of slippage around the ears, and other than that, everything was good, which made me feel good because I was pretty unsure about my fur handling abilities, but that made me feel a lot more confident. I'm ready to get steel on the ground though. '23 KC, what's up? I'll probably do my traps sometime in October. I do them pretty late because I always end up picking up more traps right before the season starts. I don't even know when I'm going to start trapping this year. It starts, I think, the third week of October, but I don't know if I'm going to jump out of the gate with it real fast. I really haven't. I keep changing my mind what my game plan is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to start up camp, if I'm going to. I might just do short burst up camp, like 2-week trips or something. I don't know. I've way better luck here at home. It's a lot easier living at home trapping, but it's not as fun. And last year I missed out on a bobcat, and I missed out on our fisher season. I missed out on our otter season because I was home. I mean, I had a chance of catching a bobcat here at home, but really there ain't no fisher around here to be caught, and my better chance of a bobcat is up there for sure. I mean, but I catch coyotes here, so I catch a lot of coyotes and a lot more coon down here than I do up there, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I said, it changes every day. Still haven't figured out why YouTube took my monetization away. I still got to dig into that. Gold otter. What is that? That'd be like blonde. For you Lake guys, I think I'm going to be going to the Ohio Trappers Association. I think it's September 10th, 11th, and 12th. I think I'm going to be out there hanging out with Matt from Epler Fur. We got some things in the works we're going to be doing here, and I think we're going to hang out. Told him I'd come out and hang out with him for a day, so if you guys are in Ohio, I'll let you know once we get closer what day I'm going to be out there. Stop by, see me, see Matt. Judith and Dan, did you put a video up of that gold one? If so, I missed that. I'm gonna have to check it out. You're blue in here. You could drop the link if you want. I'll check it out a little later. Sounds like WizKid King wants to check it out too. Me and Boxy have been talking. I'm going to try to get Boxy down here to do some catfishing. I've been just waiting for it to turn on. But hopefully this month, I'm going to have Boxy out here on the boat. Hopefully we have something to put up, a video or something, live something. But if not, I enjoy hanging out with Boxy, so we'll have a good time whatever happens. We haven't seen each other since April. Well, no, we've seen each other at the YouTube rendezvous that Freezerbind guys had. Got a barge coming through. My first 2 spots I fished tonight were so horrible. There was a lot of pleasure boats out, man, and they were bouncing me around. I come way down south of the downriver from the city, and got away from all the boats, which is nice, but it's crazy. I think I used to do better shore fishing than since I bought the boat. I guess I spent all them years shore fishing. I sort of had spots dialed in and knew where to go. I know one thing the shore did is it made me patient because I would post up on a spot for hours. I'd sit in one spot all night and fish, so I'd catch fish with the boat. I sort of limit my spots to, if I got a buddy here with 6 rods going, then I'm usually half hour. If we don't have nothing within a half hour, we move. When I'm by myself, I'm down to limited rods, so I tend to give it a little bit longer. I usually do try two casts, a half hour each sit. And I'm fishing on structure with the boat, where shore fishing, I never really knew what I was fishing. I was just sort of fishing spots that were accessible and had steep banks. Part of me thinks I need to simplify this whole thing and just start going back and doing some of that. I enjoy driving around to scanning the bottom. I got marks everywhere. I'm killing you. Imagine what I'm doing to myself. I took off work tonight. If I don't catch no fish and I gotta go in there and tell them guys I didn't catch no fish, it makes me feel about this big. I got guys at work giving me advice. It's like, haven't fished in years. One guy's telling me to use shrimp, and I'm like, I'm not really fishing for that type of fish. When people say I can't fish for catfish, they think I'm going for these little channel cats and stuff. I want to put a 40-pounder on the boat. I thought I had a real good chance of it. The first night I took the boat, I put a 27-pounder on when I didn't expect to catch a fish because of the spawn. And man, after that, I think the biggest one I've caught is maybe 9 pounds. And I think I've only put 4 flatheads in the boat since then. Put some nice channel cats in, but no flatheads. We need a heavy soaker rain. We need a couple days of rain, blow the rivers out and flood them. That's really what we need. We need a tropical storm to come through. That's what we'll get at this time of year. A tropical storm will come through and flood the rivers out. There ain't even no rain on the horizon. We got some storms today, some heavy rain, but they were so pop-up, you had to be underneath them. Unfortunately, the boat was underneath it. I went out this morning right after on the way home from work and got all my gear in the boat, so when it was time to go, I could just go jump in the boat and go. And unfortunately, it dumped on the boat about an hour before I got there, so everything's wet. My chair's wet. I'm wet right now from sitting in it. Muskie Hans, what's up, brother? Out here doing some flathead fishing. Mainly, I'm out here just talking to you guys, staring at rods that don't want to do nothing. For those that was in my last chat, I had a video that I went bass fishing and I drove around the city, and I had some pretty cool footage. Got PNC Park, got Hinesfield. I got a lot of footage, a couple fish. Wasn't the best day of fishing, but I definitely put some decent smallmouth in the boat. And then I went back in here, I'm editing that video, and I must have had sun spray on my camera because everything's blurry. None of it's worth putting up. It's horrible. So I'll have to do another trip like that one day here soon. I'm gonna have to get out and cruise around the city, which I'm doing tonight. I should have did it tonight, but I was sort of so excited about just getting out here and getting on some fish, or getting on location at least, that I haven't even put any video, didn't even record anything tonight. Saturday, my buddy actually, Jack, came out with me, and he brought his GoPro. And we had this, like, we were gonna set up and make this epic video, and of course nothing. It was horrible. We caught 4 fish. Fished for 12 hours, and I think we caught all 4 fish within like 45 minutes, 2 spots, and nothing good. Jack caught a decent. You guys follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You see the picture Jack caught a nice fat channel cat, but it's really not what we're chasing. Ooh, spotlight was on. I'm like a fishing addict at this point, musky Hans. It's crazy. Last Sunday I went out, my buddy Shane come out and we fished a new stretch of river. So I got there about 7 o'clock. I ran up and down river marking spots. Met him at the dock at about 8:30. We went out, he stayed out with me till midnight, and I was tempted to leave at midnight. I figured I'd give it one more spot, so I went out and figured I'd hit one more spot. Well, I ended up hooking up with a decent fish. Tied around the anchor, so I lost it. That was about the most excitement I had in a couple weeks, actually. But that gave me its whole second wind. So needless to say, I stayed out till almost 7:30 that morning fishing. And Monday night, I had a 12-hour shift. I've been doing 12s. And when I say 12-hour shift, there's 17-hour days with my commute and busing in and out of the plant. So I did, Monday night I went to work, did 17 hours on 4 hours of sleep. I'm still trying to catch up from it. That's one of the reasons I took off tonight, was to try to get some sleep. But, so I can't stay out late tonight. I got to cut it short. I don't care how good fishing is. 3 o'clock in the morning, I gotta be off the water tonight. I'll tell you what, though, I learned something. That morning bite really was 5 a.m. The sun started breaking the horizon, and it was good. I mean, I've had my best action probably between that 5 and 7:30 that morning when I actually pulled off the water. The 2 hours. But like I said, nothing wanted to commit. Everything was just grabbing, and I had a couple takedowns. I missed some fish I should have probably got, but probably just small fish. Probably wasn't getting the whole bait in their mouth. But it tells me I need to start fishing later when I can. Fortunately, tonight's not one of them nights. Tim Zeminski, what's up? Grant Summers Outdoors, what's up? See if I missed anybody else. Muskie, yeah, that's what I want to start trolling. My rod rack would work pretty good for trolling, and I was talking to a guy at launch on Sunday, and that's what he does. He's a muskie fisherman, and he trolls for muskie, and he does pretty well on that stretch of river. And where I store my boat, it's only about a 12-minute drive to the launch. I got 2 launches within like 15 minutes of where I store my boat. There's a dam in between. I can lock through if I wanted to, but it's probably easier just to trailer around the lock, pick one of them and stick with it. Pretty crazy. The bottom one's a lot more industrial, like what I'm fishing tonight. A lot of barges and it's a lot of dredge. One above it, the weeds. There's a lot of weed beds in it, which is something that most of our city rivers, I don't know if it's pollution or what. Like where I'm at tonight, it's hard to find weed beds. But up on that river, one lock up, it's crazy how much difference one lock makes, because I was fighting weeds all night catfishing. Frontier Survival, what's up? We got 10 in here. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that, smash that thumbs up button. I think I might move my rods. I might recast. I'm using how long I've been live as my counter. I've been on 26 minutes, 30-minute mark. I'm gonna actually run my rods in and move them around a little bit. Who we got here? Evie. Ureski. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Bull Daniels, what's up, brother? How you been? I already got the feeling it's going to be one of those nights. Muskie, my schedule sets up perfect for this catfishing at night. But I was just talking to my buddy the other day. I don't know. I enjoy it, but I'm fishing myself out. I'm probably gonna have to take Wiz Kid's advice and go fish for something else. Maybe go to Erie and do some walleye fishing because I'm getting burned out from this catfishing. Might take a week off. Maybe go catch some bait before when it starts getting good. That's probably what I should do. I should probably not catfish this weekend. I should probably go out bass fishing, maybe walleye, and just take a small rod with some worms, catch some bluegill for stock the freezer up for when it starts getting good. Definitely getting my worth out of the boat though. For working these crazy hours I'm working, I get this boat out a lot. All right, guys, I'm not going to go nowhere. I'll be right back. I'm going to move these rods. I can't really move the point of view, so you're not going to see me for a couple seconds, but I'll be right back. I'm just going to move the rods. Muskie, I was doing that for a while. You know what I was catching? I was catching like 12-inch bass, which I can't use for bait. It's pretty crazy. I was trying to catch bluegill, and I'm catching 12-inch bass. I was trying to catch a little channel cat, something for I can legally use for bait, and here I'm catching like these 12-inch bass and walleye. So for some reason, the rivers here do not hold bluegill. Every once in a while, you'll luck into a crappie, but man, they do not. I don't know why. I have a hard time getting bluegill. You'll catch bass, catch a ton of bass, but you will not catch any kind of bluegill or stuff like that. So, all right, like I said, I'm gonna move these rods. I'll be back in probably a minute. All right. Miss anything good? Yeah, Judith and Dan, it's Shad, and we've actually been trying to catch Shad with the cast net. I'm watching all kind of videos, and we haven't had no luck throwing a cast net. I know a spot that I shore fish always has shad stacked up on it, but I'm gonna drive by tonight and shine the spotlight and see if they're in there tonight. And maybe throw the cast net a little bit on the way out because it's back towards the launch. But I haven't been seeing shad. We haven't caught a shad in the cast net at all. It's that's I've been buying frozen shad from the local bait stores, which gets pretty expensive. And luckily, my buddy actually brought a whole bunch of, gave me a whole bunch of shad. He was out fishing and had a cooler full. So I've been running a lot of his old stuff. But everybody says fresh bait's the name of the game for this. So it could be my bait. But I don't, it's worked in the past. So, David Tornow, what's up? Thanks for coming. But mainly what we run here cut is shad and skipjack. That seems like what I have my best luck on. And then with live bait, I'll run bluegill, because bluegill are easiest to catch. Occasionally creek chubs. Creek chubs, it's tough to get creek chubs in the city. You can throw a minnow trap out, but it's going to end up stolen. And I really haven't had too much time to actually throw a rod for bait. Last weekend I did. I went out and I think I caught a dozen bluegill. My buddy went out and he caught a dozen bluegill. So we had 2 dozen bluegill between the two of us, and we were throwing. I threw live on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was throwing live mixed in with cut, and I think I had 2 bites on live. So it wasn't like it was making that much of a difference. So I'm not even really pressuring myself to try to get bait right now. Once fishing picks up, though, I definitely will spend time getting out and getting some live. I'm either getting a bite on this rod or something's going on. I don't think I'm drifting enough to make that rod bounce like it just bounced. Whatever it is, it's just nibbling at it. It don't want it. I'm getting a little bit of bounce on the boat, so it's kind of, could be the boat. Come on, take it down. I have dreams about these takedowns. I've had like 2 decent takedowns, Hammered on Catfishing with Joe Granada, buddy of mine, his YouTube channel, great channel. He put some slobs in the boat. He's, I don't know what he does that I'm not doing, but he just put a little collage of just takedowns. And I'm still looking for that first real big, massive takedown. I haven't had it yet. I've had a couple that I thought were going to go, bend the hell out of the rod, and then next thing you know, they spit it. Gotta remember to keep keep showing my spotlight off, or I'm going to be having a hard time finding the launch. I still haven't wired the boat up complete yet. Grant Summers, I haven't caught a fish yet tonight. I got on the water at 7. It's been that I've been out for about 5 hours. I did 12 hours on last Sunday and didn't catch a fish, so I'm up to like probably about 24 hours of boat time without putting a fish in the boat for me. It's embarrassing. But it only takes one, and they're in here. I just got to find that one and put my bait in front of it. The next spot I'm going to go to I should get something there. We had pretty good luck on we caught some channel cats there, and I probably will go there next. I actually wanted to go there on this spot, but it's they were docking some barges there where I was going to anchor. So I'm going to let them figure out where they want to put these barges, and then I will work around the barges. But it's a feeder stream that comes into the river. Historically, we've did pretty well in that general area. I grew up shore fishing there. We was never really able to get to the creek mouth and fish here because it's private property, so we always fished upstream or downstream a little bit, and we did good. So yeah, that's definitely a bite on that rod. He's still there. We got a tiny piece of cut bait on there too, so I should be able to catch whatever it is. I mean, I've downsized my bait just so I can probably get some action on the boat. I was always a big believer, bigger the bait, the bigger the fish, but I think you miss a lot of fish because, that's hard to say though, because I've caught 9-pound flatheads on the biggest bluegill I could possibly catch. So yeah, Grant, I was hoping to catch one for you guys here. A couple weeks ago, when I first bought the boat, I went live, and within 10 minutes I caught one of the bigger flatheads I've caught. So that's why I figured I'd go live tonight. Try to get some good luck off you guys, but it's making me look like a fool. I'm talking doom and gloom, but there's no place I'd rather be though. I love this. Sitting out here on my boat all night, it's pretty damn peaceful. If I could get a pizza delivered right now, I'd be in heaven. Maybe that's what I should do. I should start a water delivery service, delivering food. I know there's a lot of docks you can pull up to and order a pizza to the dock, but with COVID and everything, I don't know how that will work right now. I know in the past we used to get the pizza delivered to a launch when we were night fishing. There's a McDonald's right in the city of Pittsburgh too. It used to be 24 hours, and I remember there's been plenty of times for me and my buddy, would pull up, and I'd jump off the boat and run up into the city and get us McDonald's. I had big dreams. I thought I was going to put a grill on this boat, which I still might do it. Um, it worked great when I'm by myself. I got plenty of room when I'm by myself, but when I bring one other person out here, the boat gets real small real fast. We used to fish tournaments. We always brought deer steaks and baked potatoes, and man, we had a feast. Getting nibbles on another rod now. I'm starting to wonder if maybe they're turtles. Drone pizza delivery. There you go. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a bite on this other rod now. This was happening to me the other night, and I started trying to play with it and reel down on these fish on these short bites, and I think I learned my lesson on that with circle hooks and the big circle hooks and the right rudders. I'm I gotta just let them load up before I start doing anything. I got a bell on that rod that I'm getting a bite on, and it's such a subtle bite that it's not even jingling the bell. Could be turtle, could be gar. I know there's nights you fight the gar from something vicious down here. The turtles, they tear, so you'll just get you'll get rod bangs, I guess, all night long, which is sort of what I'm getting on that one. For a while, I was on a streak. I was catching a turtle every time I come out catfishing. Whoa. I thought he was going to take it down. He was there. Probably might have sort of railed down on that one. I don't think it's a big fish at all. But I do think that one was a fish. It was sort of taken. That didn't look like a turtle. Plus, it's the third rod. I've had bites on 3 rods here. So maybe it's getting good. Two Passions Fishing, what's up? Thanks for coming. Thanks for grabbing my channel up. Unless you change your name, I don't remember seeing you around. So appreciate it. Thanks for coming. I've been sort of off the grid here on YouTube, so I haven't been. I've been watching a lot of videos, um, and whatnot, but I just haven't been putting too many videos up. I feel bad I haven't been in one of Boxy's lives, and I don't know, man, forever. I wanted to do this past Saturday, Sunday. I actually texted him during the day and said I wanted to stop in, and then I brought my buddy out fishing, and of course he was going to meet me at 8 o'clock, and about 8:30 he actually finally showed up at the launch. So by the time I got him in the boat and we got to our spot, it was about 9 o'clock. We got rods eyed and got to bullshitting, and I just never had a chance to stop in and see Boxy. So this weekend I have to definitely make my plans to be getting Boxy's live. I haven't been around for a while. How does that part that I hate coming up on my one iron in the spot, but I'm getting such these little bites. So it's like the point: do I stay? Do I move? It's definitely not the action I want either way. So, but the next spot might not be anything. Bob, some of them bucks, them pictures, them bucks you've been sending me, man, you got some promising looking bucks running around there. I was pretty disappointed. I sent away for bonus up camp, and I didn't get bonus up camp, but I did get a bonus for 2A. So um, I usually try to get two bonus for two doe tags for up camp, and then I try to get a bonus for 2A, and then of course I stack up on 2B. But this year they cut back the license, so I only got one doe tag for camp, which is plenty. I usually don't shoot two doe up there, but I like having the second doe tag because I could shoot a doe with my bow or my rifle, and then I can hunt for buck, and then I got the doe tag for flintlock season. Um, I'm afraid if I shoot a doe up there, I always think I'm going to get a buck. So if I get a doe and a buck, then I'm sort of after flintlock, which I don't want to be. I love flintlock hunting. That's my favorite hunting. So probably save my doe tag just for that. Maybe I'll put a couple of these city deer in the freezer this year. I had a doe tag for 2A last year, and I don't think I hunted out in 2A one time with it. I don't think I hunted in 2A at all last year. Ran traps in 2A, but I never got out there and on it. Which I don't know why I don't, because I got some with the trapping. I've got opportunities to hunt. I never asked permission to hunt the farms that I'm trapping, but most of them all offer it to me after a while of me trapping. But that's part of what I do when I ask permission to trap. I tell them I'm not asking permission to hunt. I'm only asking permission to trap. It seems to get me a lot more properties. But then, like I said, once I build a communication or friendship with the landowners, they all offer it to me. this year I might run early season down here in 2A, so might be a little different this year. I might be trapping while some guys are out there archery hunting. So some guys might not like that. I've always tried to stay away from the hunters with trapping. But if I want to put up a lot of raccoons this year, I got to start a little earlier where the raccoons are at. Once they get prime, I got to start trapping. Last year I come down and trapped the farm country late season, and the coons were. I got a lot of raccoons, but weather sort of forced me out. Them warm friends in the winter, man, they were great. I can almost tell you by looking at the weather when I was going to catch raccoon, but it was only maybe one day a week. All right, now we're back onto that other rod again with the bell. Wondering if it ain't a gorgeous swimming around out here. Grant Summers, I had a Parker, a cheap bow, and I love it. It needs some work. It needs a string, and it's just an older bow. So last year, um, instead of getting that bow fixed, I went out and bought a crossbow. I thought that was going to be the best thing ever. I went out and bought a crossbow, a nice crossbow, and I hunted with it last year. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of crossbows. Um, I mean, I don't want to say it's too easy, but that's what I don't like about it. I love hunting with my compound and having to draw and everything. The crossbow just sort of made it a little too easy. Another thing, I bought the crossbow figuring I'd be able to do a lot of spot and stalk, a lot of still hunting, and it's too heavy. It's awkward. It's heavy. Um, the only thing I really do like about the crossbow is a lot of times with my work schedule, I don't have time. I only get an hour in the evening, so for me to grab my climber and actually get out there in the woods and get up in a tree where I can hunt with my bow is sort of hard. So the crossbow will come in real handy for situations like that where I could actually just go sit behind a brush pile or something. But I hope this year I hope to get a new bow, which I should really start doing now because I should start shooting soon if I'm going to do it. So I don't know. We'll see. It's sort of the last thing on my mind, and unfortunately, it's going to be a last minute thing. I'll be buying a bow and cramming shooting it in, but I guess I should sort of say I'm in the market for a new bow. I could fix up my Parker and hunt with it, but it's an old bow. You know as well as I do. A couple years on a bow means a lot difference. The technology on it pretty impressive how much technology they come up with in a couple years. What's the archery company? You want to give it a shout out? I got a lot of buddies that are big into Bowtech, Hoyt. I mean they're quick to tell you what kind of bows they shoot. Me on the other hand, I've always that Parker was a cheap bow. Everybody says they're garbage or cheap, whatever, whatnot. I've killed a lot of good deer with that bow, and I've outshot a lot of my buddies with that bow. So I'm not I ain't saying I'm not gonna buy a Bowtech or a Hoyt or something good, but I'm not gonna buy it just because it's a name. Sort of would like to see if one of my friends upgrade. I'd love to buy one of their older boats. Seems like some of my buddies go out and spend $1,000 on a boat every couple of years, and then they want to sell their old one. PSE is another one, yeah. That's my crossbow's a PSE. I do like the crossbow. I mean, it's fun to shoot, but I don't know. As far as hunting with it, I'm just not a fan. Although I did kill 3 deer with the crossbow last year. I killed 3 deer with the crossbow last year, and honestly, I did spend probably the least amount of time bow hunting than I ever did in my life. I'm usually a die-hard bow hunter. I like the early season. Of course, the rut's awesome, but I love being out um, the early season and patterning in deer. But last year, I started trapping at the beginning of the season, so it's like I got like 2 weeks of bow hunting, and then it was time to put traps in the ground, and then it was sort of just jump out in the evening. And I was staying at camp at that point too, so I had endless opportunities to hunt. It's just that trapping took so much of my day up that I didn't get a chance to hunt as much as I wanted to. Come on, take it. Halloween morning is Halloween historically has been my best day of hunting. I don't know if it's because it's a day I remember, but I'm talking back to when I was 16 and I first started hunting by myself. I remember like having to like avoid trick or treaters coming out of the woods because I don't know why. I just pencil marked Halloween every year, October 31st, and that's usually an awesome night to hunt. I don't care what the weather is on Halloween. I hunt. but really any time in November. So that's really the start of it. We used to always do an archery hunt up camp for a week. We called it the rut hunt, and we used to go up camp and hunt for a week with our bows, a bunch of us, and for a lot of years that was a really good thing. And then we start moving it into the second week of November, and it just wasn't as good. Um, I think a lot of times we're into the rut at that point. Um, I like hunting the pre-rut, the right before the rut when they're out searching. That's my favorite time. Once the rut actually hits and those deer lock onto a doe, it's hard to get them to slow down or get a shot. I mean, it's exciting hunts because you might see a ton of deer, but there's also times where you won't see nothing because there's not a hot doe in the area, where hot doe's down the road or whatever. You got to. Come on, take it, 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 take it. You want it? Come on. Getting a bite, guys. He's still there. I thought that was going to be the one there. He played for longer than any other fish played with my bait here. Yeah, I know, Bob. I've ran trail cams out there, and I know they hunt, and we got a really good relationship. I don't want to be. I'd hate to be the guy that comes in there and shoots one of them bucks that they've been chasing around for a couple years. So it's one of the reasons I sort of don't mix trapping and hunting. They're great though. They would be very. I mean, I don't think they'd hold a grudge, but I would feel bad if I shot a buck that one of them would shoot, or their grandkids or some other family. So. And then the other farm I trap's a co-op farm, and there's a lot of people that hunt that. There's a lot of guys that have tree stands, and they have a lot more time invested into that property as far as hunting. I was telling my buddy the other day, he's a big time. My buddy Shane, he's a big time hunter. And I mean, he tells we were talking about passions and what not, and he was like, man, he goes, my heart just gets pounded when I see a big buck. I was like, I used to be like that, but then I start trapping it, man. Now it's just, I get super excited when I see a trap bouncing around it. So, I'm not saying I don't get excited when I see a nice buck and I'm in my tree stand or whatnot, but If I had to choose between having a nice shooting a nice buck or catching a couple coyotes, I'd definitely choose the coyotes. Shooting a buck was always bittersweet for me because in that minute it was over. That's the part I hate about Pennsylvania. You get one buck tag, you shoot your buck. It's great. It's awesome. It's over. I catch a coyote, probably just starting because I'll probably catch another one there the next couple days. Nothing, Jim. How's vacation? Cody Moore, what's up, brother? I'm loving it, man. Brandon's outdoors. What's up? Hey, Jim, I was just talking about some of our archery hunts up camp during the rut. But Cody, yeah, I'm loving the boat, bro, man. I probably spend too much time on it. How you been, Cody? You doing any fishing? I'm using bluegill and shad, both cut. No live bait tonight. Flathead fishing. Really, I'm just just staring at rods because it's been super slow. I've actually had a little bit of action here the past 10 minutes, but nothing good. I think it might have been gar, turtle, or a small fish that just didn't want to swallow the bait and run. But I'm actually going to move spots here. So I set it. So now let's see what happens. See if the fish heard me. Decide they want to tease me. There might be some eels in here, but they're not very common. What did I catch the other day? It was the first. Oh man, I can't remember what they're called. They're them long worms. They're like 12 inches long. They look like a leech with a suction cup on their head. I forget what they're called, and I caught a sock. Reeled in a sock. I don't know if it was a sock or a rag, but one of those things was living on it. Freaked me out a little bit. I didn't know what it was. Lamprey, that's it. I guess they get on the fish and live on the fish. I've never caught a fish with a lamprey on it, but this one was pretty big. It was like 12 inches. Yeah, I live on mine too. That seems like every time I take it out, I'm out here for 12 hours or so. Can't get enough, it seems like. I'm already thinking about buying a bigger new boat. This boat here was sort of just see if I could actually like having a boat and whatnot. And believe me, it's not happening this year. Probably won't happen next year, but um, in the future, I see me going out and just buying a brand new boat, working out the kinks on this one, deciding what I want, what I don't want, what I need, and what I don't need. I almost went new with this boat, but then I sort of talked myself out of it just because of that reason. And I'm glad I did because I love my boat. It's good, but there's so much that I would change about this boat if I had an option of doing so. And if I'm gonna buy a new boat, I don't want to be dealing with it just because that's what I have. I want to the boat that I buy. I plan on having for a lot of years, and I want that boat to be set up how I want it. I like the G3s. But this Lund is also it's a nice boat. It's just heavy. My buddy got a 40 horsepower on his Bass Tracker, and I got a 50 on my Lund, and they're both 16-foot boats, 17, well, 16 and a half, 17-foot boats, and he's actually faster with his 40 than I am with my 50. Both Mercuries, just because weight difference and both the Lund's a heavier boat. In a deep V, of course, it slows it down a little bit. It seems like every rod is getting tickled right now, and I don't know if it's the boat shifting. And I'm swaying a little bit, but not enough to be doing this to these rods, and nothing wants it. Cody, I got a 50 on mine, and next year I'm definitely going to be looking to upgrade the motor. Um, I could do about 30 mile per hour with it, with just me in it, which is good. But once I put another person in here, I could maybe do 20. And then if I'm going to tournament catfish, once I put another live well in, that's probably going to be another 350 pounds by the time you figure that all out. So that's another person plus. So I'll probably be lucky to be getting 15 miles per hour at that point. So that's probably being pretty generous. Um, I know everybody says, well, if you have a live well full of fish, you don't need to be going that fast. But I don't know. No such thing as not fast is fast enough, in my opinion. So I'm looking to upgrade. I actually had a guy at the launch tried to sell me a 70 horsepower Mercury, and I should have jumped on it. I just didn't want to spend the cash at that time. I talked myself out of it because I didn't know if the motor ran. He said it ran, but for what he was asking for it, I should have just bought it and put it in a shop and had them fix it if it didn't run. My buddy works on motors, and he said that these Mercuries are pretty good motors. He said that they're one of his favorites. He said they're pretty simple. It's a little 50 horsepower two-stroke. He actually helped me change the impeller, and I told him that I was thinking about upgrading and buying a Honda, which I still might do. I spend more on the Honda than I did on the boat, but I'd never have to worry about it. That'll be next year. J Dubs, what's up, brother? You're catching me at the tail end. That's what I got, Cody. I got a Rebel XL. I got a Rebel, but it's a 1989. But the guy who had it for me, he put some work into it. The guy that had it for him did like floors completely redone, plywood. He no carpeting in it. He put some kind of vinyl flooring on it, which seems to be holding up pretty good. Look, it's actually a lot nicer than sounds. Doesn't take on no water. I'll be at 12 hours on the river fighting pretty heavy wake, and I pull it out, pull the plug. I very rarely do I even get a drip unless it rained on me. Judith, I would love to. I've actually thought about that a couple times, trapping the river for beaver out of the boat. But our beaver season doesn't come in until December. It's usually the day after Christmas, but last year it started December like 16th or something. Um, it's pretty cold. Last year, river was frozen up, so probably not. Um, Maybe towards spring, but our season goes out at the end of March, so it leaves me a short window when I can actually do it. I probably could do it late season, but at that point the river is usually so blown out from the ice jams and everything. Um, I don't know. I've thought about it even as far as winterizing the boat. Like how would I do it to run my traps and everything? Because I store my boat outside. Um, right now I store it outside. I'm thinking about getting it in slide storage unit for the winter, but it wouldn't be heated. So I really don't even know how logistically I could do it up here. Um, it just gets too cold. But I see so many beavers while I'm out here fishing. It's crazy. But I don't even know how to start on the big river. It's easy fit on the small creek or beaver pond. On the big river, I don't even know how. I don't even know where to start to trap it. All right, guys, I'm gonna actually move, so I'm gonna cut this loose, cut you guys off. But sorry I didn't catch no fish. I appreciate it. Everybody sticking around with me and rooting me on. As I say that, we got something going on. But I think it's the boat swaying because the boats, two rods are doing the same thing. So, all right, guys, appreciate it, and stay tuned. Keep saying it. I'll start getting some videos up, but unless I start catching fish, I ain't got nothing to put up. Doing this during a live stream is all right because I can actually interact with you guys, but I don't think anybody's gonna watch a video of 20 minutes of me sitting here talking to myself. So. All right, guys. Like I said, thanks for watching and stay tuned. Figure out how to shut this off, like always.